places. So you're pushed to do other things. And when you realize that, hey, I could actually, instead of sitting in the car and traveling to work, that's what I was going to say, and wasting that time, you could actually apply it to something else and doing what you want to do. And not everybody has the opportunity to find something that they love that they can sort of do that with.
But I think, you don't have to work hard, you don't have to work really hard for long if you work really hard at the start.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, new trends and styles are sort of born through frustration of the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's getting sick of doing the same stuff. So you're like, what else can we do?
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another podcast. Today we have Justin Aitken for you. He is a good friend of mine and a wedding photographer based down near Tauranga ways. He has won New Zealand Wedding Photographer of the Year 4 times or something, and he is just an all-round epic, original photographer. In today's podcast, we just kind of talk about a whole bunch of stuff. It's a long one, so buckle up and enjoy the podcast. Join your hat energy.
There you go.
Surf boys from back in the day.
Like a new man.
Oh, man. So how's it going?
Man. It's good.
It is. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's been years, bro.
Has been. Was it the wedding we did together?
Yeah. What were their names? Alana and Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Was that the last time we saw each other?
I don't know.
Fuck no.
Actually, didn't you come down for a wedding and you stayed at my place?
That's right.
You were at Old Forest, I think.
That's right.
My voice sounds so different in these headphones.
Do you like it?
It's interesting.
It sounds good.
You too.
You want to be
up here?
Pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, about that.
Good.
That's when you introduced me to Breaking Bad.
That's right. Yeah.
And then I watched the whole, every episode in about a month.
It's one of those series, eh?
Yeah.
You can't just watch one.
It was hard to get into.
Yeah.
The first couple episodes. And then I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Just watched all of it.
Yeah. Do you find that with a lot of series? You need to get in, it takes 2 or 3 episodes to get in, but once you're in, you're hooked.
Yeah, I found that with The Office, the US Office. I only just watched that as well recently. It took me a whole season to get into that. And now I've watched all of them 4 times probably.
Yeah. I've never watched the American Office in full. I've watched the UK one.
Yeah, I remember you saying the other day.
Yeah. But
I watched a little bit of the UK one. I was like, I just can't do it.
I was like that with the American one.
Yeah. I like Ricky Gervais, but I don't know. Even the American one, it's so hard to watch because he's such a douchebag. You know what I mean?
Makes you cringe.
As the actor, but it's just so hard to watch.
Yeah, because they did more of seasons of the American one, right?
I think there's 9.
Wow,
that's probably very wrong. Maybe 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Sopranos?
I've never watched The Sopranos. My brother would be really angry at me because he's been telling me for years to watch The Sopranos.
The Sopranos is really fucking good.
Yeah, that's on my list. That and Peaky Blinders, which is something else.
I haven't watched that one. There's so much shit to do.
So much. And
life
here's
is
the
so
thing,
short
right?
for watching TV.
Yeah, that's true. I can't watch one though. I'll go on a full-on bender.
Yeah.
And that's why I dare not start a series during wedding season because
No, you can't.
Because then that's all I'll do.
Yeah,
until 3 a.m.
Yeah. Your clients will be like, so you'll get that email and you see the name and you're like, it's about 8 weeks after the wedding and you're like, okay, here's the checkup.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting those emails.
Yeah, and you're going to be replying saying, oh, you're just about done, but really you're just about done Sopranos.
Just about done in season 1.
Yeah. Oh, I need to lose those glasses.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just saw you were coming up and I was like, it would just be cool to see you because it's been ages. And then I wanted to get you on the podcast because I think a lot of people look up to you as well.
That's nice.
You're kind of an OG. I've also found interesting because I think a lot of people that book me or you have looked at both of us.
Possibly.
We get a lot of the same. If a lot of people I've booked have told me they looked at you and then a lot of inquiries I've lost. When I used to follow up, I don't really do it anymore, but I found out that you shot at their wedding.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, I don't give a fuck. I just found it interesting because it's like we kind of have a similar vibe, like the way, because we've shot together and the way we shoot is similar.
Yeah, we have a very similar shooting style.
Yeah.
And also I think something I picked up with Alana is just the way we are with the people, not just the couple, but I think you make a point of making an effort with other people at the wedding, like family members.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, or like specifically like parents and sisters or whatever.
I do, yeah. I think that's important.
Yeah, solid. It's very important because once you've done that, I think everything flows quite nicely and they really feel connected to you. I mean, we don't get a lot of time to do that, to be fair. You know,
no.
There's not really any time prior to the wedding day unless you kind of know them and you may be going for like a rehearsal or something. But
I do usually go to rehearsals. And I know that's an unpopular opinion with a lot of people. Like a lot of people are like, I just don't have the time.
Yeah,
I can't be fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have always got a lot out of it. The thing for me that I've got out, I like how this conversation is just starting and I haven't even had a plan.
Awesome.
But I've always, when I go to the rehearsals, just meeting the families and the bridal party and like forming that little bit of a bond with them, that really helps me on the day.
Yeah.
Like when I show up in the morning, they're like, "Oh, Chris is back," and I'm like already kind of one of their mates. Like fitting in is a skill that I've learnt.
Yeah. Yeah, likewise.
Because I typically don't like humans. Like a lot of them. Yeah, I prefer my home planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, humans are hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I don't always know if they're doing a rehearsal. Like I don't ask. Maybe I should. But
yeah, I always ask.
Yeah, truth be told, like if I'm at home and the wedding's in say like Waihi, that's an hour away.
No, I do it if it's local.
Okay.
Like if it's in like Kumu. Yeah. I've been to a couple out of town, but they've like paid for me to come.
Right, that's cool.
Like
buy you lunch or something.
No, like literally paid for flights or whatever.
Okay.
Not very often.
Out of town weddings. Okay, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Not very often. But yeah, I do get a lot out of it, and they get a lot out of it as well because we've seen I've seen like 500 weddings. You've probably done double what I've done.
I've never counted.
Yeah. But you've definitely done more than me.
I've done a fair few.
And the advice that we give, they usually really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's how you get on board with the parents. Like I find if you can get on board with the parents, like make the parents really like you, like it's sold.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because they got your back all day.
Yeah, I've actually been making an effort probably in the last 2 years to do exactly that with parents and specifically with family members. So like making a mental note because like so many times you'll have like siblings that are in the bridal party.
Yeah.
And like if you didn't bother to try to find that out before, how would you know?
Yeah.
Like they're not always going to tell you.
No, definitely not.
And siblings don't always look alike, so you can't always pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad with names.
I'm terrible with names. I'm
So,
good with faces.
Yeah, excellent with faces.
I suck at names.
Yeah, no, I recognize a guest from a wedding like 4 years ago. But
Same.
But like I don't even remember my kids' names.
I had a
yeah, like
how many kids you got?
Like 4 or something, maybe 3 or 4. I don't even know.
That you know of.
Yeah.
I had a guest on the wedding on the weekend, and the couple came up to me like, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, "Yes, I actually did. Like I remember their names." And they were like, "Oh, we were so and so's wedding." I was like, "Oh, that was the one at Atahua, which is a vineyard in down in the bay." And they were like, "No, it was out in Waihi." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I've only done one wedding in Waihi, and it was fucking awesome, eh?
Where was that? Water Lily?
No, it was on the beach, like
flat wide.
Yeah,
yeah.
But the reception they had to move it because I think all the venue had COVID or something.
Right. Yeah.
So they shot at some other place. I can't remember what it was called, but it was cool. But it was cool because the couple were cool.
Ooh.
They were just a rad couple. I had a lot of fun.
Makes a difference, though.
And that was one of those weddings that I had to. I couldn't because they postponed. I couldn't get a second shooter on video. So I had Alice, you know Alice? It's like from like South America.
No.
She second shot photo for me, but I had to do all the video.
Okay.
This is like full ceremony, full speeches, a highlight film, and I did main photo, and it was hard.
Actually, I think I know which Alice you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she did a good job. I think when you have a solid second shooter, it's fine.
It's helpful, eh?
Yeah.
I don't have too many. They used to be included in my package, but I took them out and added it as an extra component.
So did I.
Yeah.
This year I did that.
Did you? Yeah, I did it about 4 years ago, maybe more. It works, but definitely less people take that option. And I'm okay. I'm okay capturing weddings by myself, but the ones where there is a second, you kind of feel like a weight off your shoulder sometimes, especially when it's a good second.
And it's more fun.
And it's way more fun.
If you like them. Like when me and you shot together, it was a mean day.
That was full banter.
Yeah, full bands all day.
Which is what it should be.
Remember that little video we made?
Yeah, that was funny. On that note, that's actually hilarious. I had somebody mention to me the other day, I saw a video of you and Chris. I was like, really? Which one? And he sent me the link to that. I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, really? Was it on YouTube or something? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was on your YouTube channel. Yeah.
Man, and that was funny though.
I read the comments though. This was interesting. And someone says...
Creative blur.
Dial out the focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll still do that. Just kidding. Somebody in the comments had mentioned something about, oh, you guys wear T-shirts to your weddings?
Yeah, bro. It's New Zealand.
I was like, wow.
Dude, you're lucky everyone wearing pants.
Yeah, at 7 p.m, the pants come off.
Fucking A, man.
I actually normally have a collared shirt because, you know, sometimes you have clients where it's like you feel like you should put on a collared shirt or at least put a little bit more respectable.
Yeah.
That particular wedding, because I knew Alana and I knew most of her family and I worked with her mum back in the day.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way, and then also just forgot. And I think we went down to the car to get like something to drink or something. I remember, and I was like thinking about it. I was like, nah, fuck it. So, yeah.
I have mixed opinions. Sometimes, like if I'm doing like a church wedding, then I'll wear like a pants and a proper button-up shirt.
Do they allow you in churches?
I get very warm. When I walk in the door, but I can fake it.
Yeah.
No, I'll dress up for that. I mean, I dress nice, but like, you know, a T-shirt's fine. They're not photographing me.
100%. Yeah. And I think you need to be comfortable.
Yeah. And as long as you're respectful, like dressed well enough and like cleanly shaved and
cleanly shaved like you.
Yeah. Not like I am now, basically. I don't go like this.
Yeah. But most of my weddings, at the end of the night, I don't think the family give a shit if I wore a shirt or a singlet. They're like hugging me by the time I'm leaving.
Bro.
Like, if they're doing that, then I'm like,
this is the
my
difference.
Job's done.
This is the difference, though.
Yeah.
Between how we shoot and a lot of people shoot like us.
Yeah.
And the people that don't really give a shit about the family and whatever and don't try and get on board with everybody. When I leave a wedding, you know, I always go up and I'm like hugging. I give a couple of hugs.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You know, I'm like
100%.
Man,
like I won't leave the venue unless I've said goodbye to both couples. Like, and they don't necessarily have to be together because a lot of the time by that stage of the night they're not together.
No.
Like one's here and one's there, one's London, one's Tokyo.
Yeah, one of them's having a joint out in the car park and the other one's fucking
snorted a line of a tyre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I always go up to them and hug them, and then when I'm leaving, you know, like usually I'll like wave to the parents and they like call me over and they'll, you know, we'll have a little chat before I leave.
And thank you so much.
Thank you, yeah.
And you're kind of like, thank you for having me. Like I always try and end that way because you got to be grateful, I suppose, for what we do. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, we have it's a pretty sweet job.
It is.
It's kind of embarrassing how much good wedding photographers get paid compared to like teachers and shit. It's disgusting, really.
It's definitely lucrative, you know.
Teachers are so overworked.
Big time. Yeah.
So overworked and so underpaid.
And we don't have enough of them, like most things in New Zealand.
And they raise our kids.
100%.
If we're honest.
Your kids are spending so much time there. I mean, what's up? We're dropping them off at 8 o'clock in the morning. They're coming home at like 2:30.
They spend more time at school than with us. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And when they get home, they're gassed. They're tired.
Yeah, they're tired. We're tired.
Like, I'll say to my kids, like, how was school? They're like, good.
Yeah, that's all you get.
It's like one answer. I'm like, what did you learn today? So,
dude, I don't even get good. I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Oh dear.
I'm like, how's school? They're like,
grunting.
That's it. And they stink. Like, they stink my car out when I pick them up. It's disgusting. Actually, they've gotten better now, though.
Feral.
I think they've decided, they've started, like, noticing the other.
Gender.
Yeah. And they're like, maybe I should not smell like an animal daily.
Have you got, what do you got, boys? Girls?
2 of each.
2 of each?
Well,
right.
Yeah.
So the boys are like, chicks. I better spray some deodorant.
Pretty much, yeah. My son has like, he bought hair gel, but he bought like the real greasy shit, so he looks like Ross off Friends. I'm like, bro, you got to up your game. But anyway, this is about photography.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, so they say.
This whiskey's good.
Ooh.
I really like it.
It's going to be hard to have just one glass.
Yeah. So, wedding photographer of the year. How many times?
I think it's 4.
4 times wedding photographer of the year. And I think it's well justified.
Thanks, man.
Your work is pretty crazy. And one of the things I wanted to ask you about was, I think a lot of people listening are going to know who you are, but the people that don't know who you are and don't know your work, it's very interesting. Like I've even picked up some of the stuff that you do. Like I'll put a photo up on the screen that I took, and I'll show you later. And I was like, when I took it, I was like, this is Justin inside my soul right now. You know,
I love it.
Like you're very creative, and
thanks.
You've come up with a lot of firsts, I think, especially with composition. You know, like you don't use a lot of light, do you? Like off camera.
No,
like flash.
No, I used to. I used to. Part of the reason why I don't is because I'm fucking lazy.
Yeah, I think that comes with age.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
How old do you think?
I don't know. I think you're about the same age as me. I'm turning 40 this year.
Yeah, I'm just over.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just over the line. Yeah.
It definitely comes with age.
Yeah.
Like cynicism.
Yep.
And like...
There's a certain level of cynicism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And realizing you don't actually need it, I think.
Yeah. No, you don't. I used to set it up at reception. I thought it was interesting. Like I just say off-camera flash, like during speeches and that. I still sometimes do that. Like
I still sometimes.
Randomly.
Yeah, I have
like
a couple of 80-200s.
Yeah.
But I'm not to do that anymore. I decided actually... but before we carry on with how epic you are, that I'm going to get video lights for next season for photo.
Nice.
A couple of really nice aperture, like they're expensive, but way better.
Yeah.
But just it's something about what you do with composition, and I want to know where you got that from. Like, tell us about yourself. Just give us overview. Like, you're obviously from South Africa, and I'm sorry to the listeners about the accent. This deck doesn't have like a
Homer Simpson
conversion. Yeah, you know.
Some people might like it, man.
But it does sound really good in these headphones, actually.
Yeah.
No,
the
just giving
accents?
shit. Yeah.
I'm English South African as well, so
yeah.
I don't talk like this.
But just give me a quick overview of kind of like how you got into it and like what you shoot now, and just maybe some like inspiration, because you got that shit from somewhere.
Composition wise, I do remember. So I used to work for Canon back in the day when I lived in England.
Right.
Yeah, it was just I was not a photographer. I actually worked in the post room organizing. This is when people still got mail.
Wow.
This is me showing my age.
Yeah.
This is end of the 90s, early 2000s. No, end of the 90s, yeah. And we got like 45, we got a crazy discount. And I bought a film camera. I don't even remember what one it was. And a couple of lenses. And we went on a surf trip to Indonesia.
Yeah.
And I had about 3 rolls, 1 color, 2 black and white. And came back, and my partner then at the time, her dad was really keen on photography. And I had like I bought one of those like albums and put prints in it.
Oh yeah, like you stick them in.
Yeah, it was like from Indonesia, like
right.
like a turtle on the cover or something ridiculous. And I stuck them in there for some reason. I put the prints in an album, you know. And he was looking through and he said, hey, you know what, you actually have good compositions. I was like, I don't really know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Like back then. But okay, cool. And then strangely the other day I was looking through those photos because a friend of mine posted them. She like digitized, don't know what the word is, and put them on Facebook, as you do.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, there's a blast from the past. And a lot of the photos were the ones that I took. I was like, wow, those are actually pretty cool compositions, actually.
Yeah.
And then from there, I came over here. I moved to New Zealand and I actually studied computer networking, but I pulled out halfway through that degree and pursued photography. I was doing concert photography. And I guess it just sort of came from there. And it was like, I didn't ever want to plan to get into weddings. It actually was something I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine anything
Same
worse.
with me.
Yeah, I was quite introverted. Definitely not like I am now. Like I wouldn't be able to make conversation with people just randomly at a wedding like I can now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I was like, the thought of weddings like made me sick. I was like, no way. And then friends would like ask, like, can you do so-and-so's wedding or my sister's wedding? And I was like, that's the easy way to make, a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Good few $100s.
And buy the next lens.
Yeah.
Because what I was earning that time was shit. And then it kind of just grew from there. I actually stopped weddings, and when I got married, my good friends Jake Thomas and Mike Hill got me back into it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mike Hill, shit, that's a blast from the past.
Jake in particular, because he would ask me like to second shoot, and I'd be like, I'd make up like I'd like say that I was busy, but I wasn't, because I just didn't want a second shoot.
Yeah.
And I was doing like heaps of other stuff, commercial stuff and family portraits and stuff like that. And after he shot my wedding, I realized how much fun they had together. And I was like, wow, that's not how I was shooting weddings before. And just talking about creativity as well, I have to definitely give those two a little bit of praise, because when we were all hanging out, when we were all doing photography, we were all pushing each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, their work at the time was great. I mean, obviously it's a different place now. I'm sure if they were still around doing photography, they would still be great. But they were but next level at the time. And it's certainly incredibly inspiring for me as well. So they were kind of at that stage, you know, almost like mentors as well. You know, you were learning from them, being inspired by them. And I think anyone who you're inspired by can be seen as like a mentor. That's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting, yeah. Yeah, I had pretty much the exact same story.
Right.
I could have guessed that with how we are.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, like I was shooting like my friend's skateboarding and landscape photography and shit like that. And my first wedding was a friend of a friend, and they said it was at Cornwall Park.
Yeah.
And they said they would give me $500. I was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, sure, I'll do it. Fine. I didn't really want to, but I was like, I needed money. I was broke as shit. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And the photos were not great, but I had a lot of fun. I felt pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, strutting in with I think I had like a Canon, some kind of crop sensor thing, my 18 to 55. Oh, yeah. I was legit. My 55 to 200 as well. That was pretty good. And yeah, it was just the process of it. I just really liked it. It was just fun. Yeah. And I think, I don't know, we do get inspired from what we've seen in our lives.
100%.
And the people that we've been around. And I think shooting with Mike Hill and that would have been a pretty good start.
Yeah, that's good. It was probably Mike who I learned a lot from, and just to be a lot more open with people. Yeah. Because like if you look at
He was big into that. I never met him, but he seemed rad.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, obviously you've seen what he looks like. And when people haven't met him and they see what he looks like, it's like they automatically form an opinion of what they think this guy's going to be like.
Yeah, and they're like, really? You're a wedding photographer?
Yeah, and then they get to know him, and it's like they're pretty much like hugging him by the time they're leaving the wedding. Yeah. Or he's leaving the wedding, because they love him so much, because he's just such a lovable guy in that way. Yeah. But he was someone who taught me like how to give like yourself like your personal, make that personal connection with people. And like he also, there would be different ways to do it. And I guess it's important to choose how you are with certain people. Like you couldn't do certain things with some people, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't say certain things that you would say, like say to a groomsman who's sculling a beer to like say a conservative mum. Oh, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, so being able to have that ability to, you know, transform or be like some sort of social kind of chameleon in some way. I think
it's definitely, I mean, I've been through a lot in my life, but weddings have, so I've changed a lot over my lifetime. Like if you saw me 20 years ago, I'm a completely different man. Yeah. You know, but weddings have definitely changed.
Petrol head.
I was always a petrol head. I grew up in West Auckland, you know.
Right, yeah.
Like I had a Commodore, Metallica t-shirt, black jeans. Yeah. The whole thing.
Long hair.
Yeah, I did have long hair before it fell out. Yeah. And now I just have to have a beard, otherwise I look like a potato.
Looks
if
good,
I don't have a beard. Yeah, thank you. I spend a lot of time on it. No, I don't. I think weddings have changed my personality a lot, like given me a lot more confidence. Because you kind of just have to learn it.
Have to have it, man.
When you're standing in front of 200 people, trying to instruct people to take a group shot and like make family photos and stuff, like you just have to come out of your shell. Yeah. So it's I think difficult. All of us in winter, we like go back into our caves. Yeah. And just
don't come out, don't see light.
Don't speak to people. Curtains. Yeah. Yeah. And I come out looking like Tom Hanks off Castaway. I'm like, right, I better shave and like unshaven, do some shit.
Skinny.
Yeah.
Nah, opposite of that, because
unshaven and fat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to lose that weight as you get older, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, but look, I guess I've always also just pushed myself to shoot for myself as well. So like, say, for example, you go to the same venue, like how can I shoot this differently?
Yeah.
Which I think is quite difficult. But if you're thinking like, yeah, I think that can also like enhance your creative sort of results.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, and also just the way I see things sometimes is a bit different, maybe a bit different to other people. But again, I think just going back to what you said, definitely the foundation and the maybe the childhood you had can contribute to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just noticed you, composition-wise, you use a lot of like, you just put people in spaces that you wouldn't think, and like you do creative things like this, like with suits and stuff.
That's because I just get frustrated photographing them, like trying to find a fucking hanger that will hang or something.
Yeah, like detail shots, you just get them to hold it. Yeah, and I think you're the OG of a lot of shots like that. Like maybe people have done it, but I've never seen it. A lot of stuff you've done, has been the first time I've seen it.
That holding the dress shot, that was pure frustration. There was like 8 bridesmaids.
Yeah,
and I was trying to hang them up in this. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I need to talk into the mic.
Yeah.
I was hanging them up in this shitty little room and they kept fucking falling.
Yeah.
It's so irritating. And then like you're that dude, and you like look at the corner of your eye, like someone's looking at you like, oh, you dirtied the dress.
Yeah.
Oh like,
God, that
awkward.
look.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, like the dress is quite resilient, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, just bring your dresses and come outside with me.
Yeah.
And like, hold it up in front of your face. And I was like, that's it, done. I photographed the dresses. Afterwards, like I went home and looked at it. I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I had the same experience. I was trying to do that and the dress was being a pain. And I was like, I'm just going to adjust in this shit.
Yeah.
And it came out great.
Do it. Yeah. As far as I know, I hadn't seen it before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Maybe I had and I didn't know, but I don't think so.
Tell me something. Tell me something, and I'm going to find this photo.
Tell you something?
Yeah.
Anything? Okay. How about this?
Yeah.
This has blew my mind that I only realized the other day or learned that we have sonar mapped. We have only explored, right?
Sonar mapped?
Yeah.
Like in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than 20% of the ocean.
Of the whole Earth?
Yeah. Were you wanting just like any sort of fact? Or did you want something photography?
Is this like leading into like underwater photography?
No, it's no segue into anything.
No, that is a good fact.
I just thought about it.
That's fact of the day. Actually, that can be a new segment. Fact of the day.
It blows my mind.
Fact of the day. Oh, here it is. Fact of the day is that we've only explored 20% of
less
than 20%. Yeah. That is crazy.
It's crazy
because you get to the bottom and be like, "What the fuck?" There's like another people, people down here.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
We haven't been smoking pot, I promise.
No, we haven't.
This is that shot.
Oh yeah, that's mean.
Like hang all the suits under them.
Yeah.
I literally thought of you when I was taking that photo. I was like, all right,
it's a cool shot.
I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
Just in it.
Yeah. And I say shoot for myself because I think it's important to it's always important to get the stock standard stuff, but to shoot for yourself. But a lot of the time, the couple end up loving that kind of shit.
Oh, 100%. I think that's why they hire us.
Yeah.
A lot of
possibly.
them. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's another good point. Like, what's your opinion on getting inspiration? Like, I've never, it's not out of ego. It's not out of like some kind of I'm better than you thing, but like, I just don't really follow other wedding photographers. And I never have. Like, most of my Instagram followings that I follow is mostly like street photographers or like documentary stuff. And I think that being inspired by, like I've been inspired by you, but that's a rare case. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's rare that I see other wedding photos and I'm like, that's sick. Like, it's usually the same shit.
Yeah.
And done really well, but it's the same,
Yeah.
And I think I think if you follow too closely and like follow, you especially when you start out, you're like constantly looking on Instagram and like Googling photo poses and like how to pose couples and how to do this. And I think most of what you're going to find is going to hinder you rather than help you.
Yeah. Look, I think it's good to consume certain stuff, but you could probably do like what you say, any other genre of photography, and yeah, sure, and maybe apply that to your wedding photography somehow. You know, whether that be lighting or use of post production or composition.
Yeah,
you know, get your ideas from there. You can't like for me, it's like I don't do that kind of stuff at every wedding. You know what I mean? Like sometimes weddings don't present. Like I don't ever rock up nowadays. I don't rock up at a wedding with an idea in mind or think like, I'm going to do that shot at this wedding. It's like I just do with whatever I've been given. I'm working with whatever is in front of me.
Yeah,
and like just I'll only think about it in that moment. Sometimes I think of shit and I'm like, I want to do that, and then like something else happens or time goes like, I didn't get to do that idea.
Yeah,
like maybe I'll do that at another wedding, and then that idea doesn't present itself.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, going back to your question, like I think it's good to source some sort of inspiration, but I don't think it needs to be from other wedding photographers. I don't really follow too many other wedding photographers. Like if I follow them, I don't really. I'm scrolling past, or
yeah, you
I'm just not interested. Like your mate. Yeah. I'm just not interested in who you shot last weekend. I don't give a shit, and I'm sure you don't give a shit who I shot.
No,
either.
I don't give a shit.
You know what I mean? So, and I don't expect you to.
No. But sometimes I'll be scrolling through and I'll see one of your shots and I'm like, that's sick.
Nah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads on like with community and like surrounding yourself by photographers. Because when I started wedding photography, I didn't even know another photographer, let alone a wedding photographer. And I was like, I have no idea how to do this shit. And now we've got like Facebook groups and like NZIPP. And yeah, I don't know. What do you think? You're still in NZIPP, right?
I am a member. Yeah. I have been for, I think, like 12 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a long time. There's been different reasons why I've been a member. Like, again, when we were shooting and entering competitions, Jake and Mike, that was real fun. We were like pushing
He was
each
an
other.
NZIPP as well. Yeah.
I don't know if they ever, I think they were members. Maybe they weren't, or they just entered. Like, you don't have to be a member to enter. But a good reason to be a member is you get some pretty sweet discounts, man.
Yeah.
Like you get discount off your insurance, Rothbury. You get discount off like Torpedo 7 and trade cards. Like I bought a bike for my boy the other day.
Yeah.
I saved like $170.
Nice.
Just by having this N3 card.
Crazy.
It was ridiculous. I was like, sweet. Like if I'm saving money that way.
Yeah. But other than discounts, you do get shit out of it, right? Surely. Like,
yeah.
Because I think people know that I've roasted NZIPP a fair bit in my life. But they do. I think they do a lot as well for people.
Yeah, I mean, in the 12 years I've been there, I've seen a lot of change. Like, there's been times when I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about being a member, and then there's times I'd be like, that's awesome being a member.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
it's always changing, and I think it's like it with a volunteer organisation as well.
Yeah, right.
You know, you're not always going to have that. You know, people who are willing to put in the effort to make it what it is.
Yeah, and it's pretty sweet if you're like constantly winning wedding photographer of the year.
Yeah, although I haven't done that for a couple of years, I don't think.
Yeah. Who was the last one?
I don't know. I always say I'm not gonna enter, and then like in the last like day, I'll like scrummage around images and just enter it for the hell of it.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of awards in that group, and everyone that I've seen of yours, I've been like, yeah, they should have won. This isn't like a Justin praising podcast, but it's kind of turning out like that. God. Yeah,
it's interesting, the whole judging. Like I'm in two minds with judging art. And in one hand, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. You're judging art. Like, who's a judge? Like, who's to say? Like, say music. You can judge music and give someone an award for music. I think it's ridiculous. And then in the same breath, I'm like, it can be a real cool process because you can be really inspired by other people as well.
Yeah.
And what they're submitting, and like if you invested the time into following it and listening. But the judging platform is an interesting one for me. Like, there's times when I'm like, wow, yeah, cool, I get it. And then there's times when I'm like,
because you would have been a judge a few times, right?
Once or twice. Yeah. I don't. The reason why I haven't judged a lot, like for weddings, is because I've entered them, and I don't believe personally, and I've expressed this in feedback, that if you're entering a category, that you should be judging it. I just do not think that it's a good idea.
If you're entering it, you shouldn't be a judge. Yeah, no, totally.
Like if you're judging a category, I think there should be a general rule to say you cannot enter it. That's my opinion.
But surely you can't enter it and judge the same.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
You just obviously don't judge your prints.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, which is real awkward because sometimes they'll like pull a judge off, right? Before they print, like the print before. And then you'll see the next print come up, and like if you know someone's work, you're like, well, that's their print. And then like 2 prints later, they pull them back on.
Yeah, right.
You're like, and I know I'm not dissing it. It's a difficult thing for them, and it's you're trying to organize a conference and awards unit. It's not easy, and hats off to anyone who's doing it. There's just
totally.
certain things that I don't agree with.
Yeah, and it'd be easy to have biases because it's if I see one of your photos, I know it's your photo.
Yeah,
and you probably get the same. Like most people, if they see one of my images, they know it's me.
Yeah,
like other photographers. But yeah,
you got that style. People can pick out.
People can pick out the CTM.
Yeah,
the main sauce.
Main sauce.
That's the preset.
Burger sauce.
Yeah.
But you're right though. Not just biased towards your own, but like to your friends, or maybe to people you don't like.
Yeah,
and that exists as well. You'll be like, oh, I'm sick of this guy winning or this girl winning.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling this.
And I think it's naturally as humans, it's hard to ignore those biases sometimes. Like even if you try, like I've noticed that with my YouTube channel. Like when I've been reviewing gear, I'm pretty good at it now. Like I've roasted some Sony shit. Yeah, like some gear they've brought out. I mean, like this is crap, you know. But even something as simple as that is like equipment, you know. It's funny because I remember you shoot Canon, right? Because I shot Nikon for years professionally.
Excuse me.
And I was talking about this the other day when I was on Nikon. I was like, "There's no way I'm switching to Sony. This mirrorless shit is just gonna phase out." You know, and I was just like, "There's no, I'm Nikon for life."
Now.
You know.
Yeah.
And then I kind of realized halfway through reviewing gear on my YouTube channel that like the companies don't give a shit about us.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, Sony, and like whatever.
So, Canon's on top
I'm
of
a
that
number.
list. They don't give the shit the most.
Canon are the worst. Yeah. And like they just don't care. So what are you even holding on to?
Yeah.
Like just use whatever is best for you,
100%.
is my opinion.
Yeah.
Use, like they're all so good. They're all better than us.
Yeah.
So like if you can't do a good job with a professional camera, you should probably quit.
Yeah.
You know, like they're all way better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Canon's bloody expensive though. You know, like I've just sold a whole lot of all of them except for 2.
What are you shooting on now? Tell us what you're shooting on before you go.
Yeah, so I got a couple R5s.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably could have got R6s, but I just went for that 8,000 pixel thing, which is pretty cool because you can crop out, like, there's situations where you may have like a 24 on and you needed to get closer, but you don't want to miss the moment, and then you're cropping out like a third of the image and you still got like 5,000 pixels.
Yeah. I do that with crop mode on my Sony.
Right, okay.
I have it programmed to a button so I can like punch in to Super 35 mode, and it's like crop, like 1.5 times crop.
Nice.
But I think it's lower res than yours. What's R5? Like 50?
Yeah.
45, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. 45, I think.
And are you using native RF glass, or are you adapting shit still?
No, so I had EFs. I still have a couple. But I recently just sold a whole lot of the EFs and bought the RFs.
What's your main lenses?
I only got 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had like 7, 8.
I typically use 4 through a whole wedding day, if that.
Yeah, exactly. So 24, 35, 50, and 85.
So in the morning, this is interesting. So running through the morning from like getting ready. So see, for me, I do like 24-50 for the morning, and then ceremony I'm like 35-85, and then for bridal portraits I go back to 24-50, and then I'm back on 35-85 for speeches.
Right.
So what do you do?
I only use one camera in the morning.
Yeah,
I don't
35?
even. A 35.
I've done that too. I like that.
I don't even bring out another camera until the ceremony.
There's something freeing about that.
Yeah. I just don't feel the need to. Even like if I'm hopping from like the girls to the boys, I'll like even leave my bag at the girls. So like if I'm going between the two, if they're close, and then I'm coming back to the girls, and I just take my camera at 35 to the boys. And
I do that.
Honestly, I never need anything else.
Yeah, I do that sometimes, and I just have a battery in my
take a
in the little pocket in your
just
jeans.
In case,
I put one of those in. Honestly, I think the whole dual camera thing came from people wanting to wear dual camera straps.
Yeah,
because I remember when I got my first, when leather dual camera strap harnesses came out, I got one. I was like, this is badass. I look way cooler than I am.
The amount of people that come up to me at a wedding and say, these things are so cool.
Yeah, I just tell people now I literally wear it because it makes me look cooler than I am.
I just tell people, I say, you should see all my other leather.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just laugh.
Yeah, I done that sometimes too. Like I'm like, me and my second shooter, we clip each other together and just like rub parts together. It's great.
Yeah.
But I think using one body is great.
Yeah. I've tried to go back to zooms. I haven't used zooms for years.
Yeah.
I struggled. I think Rambo recently, or he has for a while.
Yeah.
He went back and used zooms and he loves it. He rates it. I was like, I should try that again actually. But yeah, I just hang on to the primes. I could probably shoot a wedding for the 35mm in its entirety.
Yeah, I bought a 28 to 75 2.8 with the aim of using it for like ceremonies.
Right.
And it's great for ceremonies. It works great. It looks great, but there's still something about an 85.
Yeah.
That's just better.
I tell you what, man, the new Canon 85, the RF, is one of the best 85s I've ever used.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Like, I've always had a problem with CA on an 85. I don't know what it is with the 85. It's like mainly when you're wide open. So like if you're like 1.2, 1.4, there's always a like level of CA that's like more pronounced than any other lens.
Yeah,
I've found with the 85, and with the Canon RF, man, it's so good.
Yeah, the Sony GM85 is not great for I have the Sigma one now, and that's really good. Oh yeah,
right, wow.
But the Sony 85 G Master was the first G Master lens they brought out, so it's very old now.
Yeah,
it needs to be updated like badly.
Yeah, I think I've used that one actually when I was contemplating switching over to Sony. I think Aaron Key sent me a whole box of stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, and I was like, I wanted to like it, but I just couldn't love the menu system and the.
It takes a while to get your head around.
Yeah, I probably should have given it more time, but.
Oh man, honestly, especially when you're doing, I get asked this a lot. Typically, because of my YouTube channel, I get asked a lot. Like, honestly, the two questions I get asked the most are what body should I buy out of these? Or what lens would you use?
Right.
I'm like, I have no idea. Like, what are you doing?
I just work here.
Yeah, I don't know you. Just tell me what, I need to know some background. Like, what are you shooting? It's, it's irrelevant.
Good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think especially when you're, actually this leading me on to another subject. Fuck. It's been 45 minutes.
Already?
Yeah.
I could talk to you for years, for hours.
I know. If you guys could see the feet cam.
There's a lot of footsie
under the table.
Is that your big toe?
Yeah, this is my OnlyFans. I need another camera like under the table.
Yeah, that'll make money.
Especially when you're doing photo only. Shoot whatever the fuck body you want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think. Like Fuji.
Nowadays it doesn't.
No, back then it did. Like a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, saying that, I was shooting weddings on a D700, which is like 12 megapixels or whatever, and I thought it was legit. Yeah. I mean, it was the main pro body back then.
The D750 was the business back in the day.
Yeah, I had that too.
Yeah, the dynamic range in it at the time.
Even now it's amazing. The sensor's great, but like shitty autofocus.
Yeah.
But back then, when it came out, autofocus was sick. Yeah, now it's like cheating.
There was nothing. Yeah, it is. It's
now I'm like tracking a bride walking down the aisle from 50 meters away by her eyeball.
Yeah.
Like,
do you find, this is what I found in the last maybe couple of years since I've been on mirrorless, that I'm shooting a lot less.
Oh, way less.
Like a lot less.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trusting my photos more.
Yeah, and you're seeing the exposure live as well.
Yeah,
so it's like
true. Yeah. But like with regards to focus, whereas like when I had the 40D.
Everything's always in focus.
Yeah, especially if you're shooting at like f2 or something, you're like firing off like 20 shots in 2 or 3.
No, with Sony, the new Sony bodies, I don't know I have used the R5, but it was like original firmware and stuff.
Yeah.
But with the new Sonys, I don't think I've come across a photo that I probably have, but it's so rare that I'll have an image that's not exactly in focus. Right. They just all are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like cheating.
Yeah. And the lens quality is so much better with these RFs, man. I'm telling you, it's like...
RF lenses are good. Yeah. The only one I had an issue with was that big fat f2 zoom.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
The 28
a few
to 70,
people had issues with that. Yeah, and my second shooter was having issues with it. Just on the, like, if you go past 65mm, it just turned to absolute shit. Wow. But I think it might have, like, it needed a repair or something. But I've heard that a lot about that lens.
Yeah.
But the RF primes are amazing.
So good. Still waiting for the 35 and 24, though, to release.
Yeah, they only have those little ones, eh?
Yeah, they're okay. I got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good, but they're not, like, old quality.
Do you still have your tilt shift?
Yes.
You still use it?
I go through stages. Like, I'll use it. I'll take it to, like...
Is it 45 or 24?
It's 45.
45, yeah.
I got the 45.
That's what I had.
I used to have the 24, but I got the 45.
Actually, I bought that because of you as well, you bastard. Used it like 3 weddings. I was like, I'm just going to sell it. It's too hard. I'd rather just freelance it,
Yeah, freelancing's cool. There's a certain buzz with freelancing, and the results you're like, wow, that's cool. Especially when there's some like there's light shining towards you and some flare in that.
It's funny though. I only do that shit when I'm really inspired by like the couple or something. Like I did some freelancing at a wedding a few weeks ago. They shut down the South Island, like right at the bottom of the South Island, and it was epic. Like I got some really good shots with it, but I only did it because it was just a rad day.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is fucking cool, man. I'm having a great time.
Yeah,
they've styled it really well. Anyway, I'm just getting off subject, but that kind of shit.
It's fun.
What do you think about photographers getting into video?
I don't know. I think I have mixed feelings about it. Like I've for a long time have wanted to, but I just haven't.
Yeah.
But like life's just got in the way.
But do you want to for business reasons, or you want to because you think you would enjoy it?
I don't think I would enjoy the editing part of things.
No.
And then I'm too much of a control freak with that to outsource it, I think.
Yeah, I don't outsource anything.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the point? Yeah. About a year ago, maybe 2, I was getting a lot of inquiries asking for video as well. Now, not as many.
That's why I started doing video, because I book more weddings because I do both.
Right. So now what's the percentage of what you're doing compared to photo only?
Oh, it would be 80% both.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite high. Wow.
Yeah. And it does turn a $5,000 day into like a $9,000 day.
Right.
Yeah. But the workload is a lot more.
3 times as much now.
The editing is killing me.
So I would want to put in songs that are like artists that I love.
Yeah.
And I would struggle with like royalty-free music. I'd be like, it just wouldn't hit home.
Yeah, music is I'm always picking the songs before I start the edit.
Yeah. Could you imagine a Quentin Tarantino movie without a song that people know? Or Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan, using music that just is like royalty-free standard stock stuff?
No, you can't. No.
It wouldn't have the same effect.
I think that's why part of the reason why I started putting, like I have audio from the microphones all through the whole film.
Right.
Now, and just like quiet music.
Yeah.
So I shoot it more like when me and Julian, I'm like trying to tell him what I want and like how we're changing and whatever. And I'm like, shoot it like you're shooting The Office. So I do that now, like a lot of movement and attentional, like zooming here and there and like just stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like a lot of, like I'll when we go to the girls getting ready, we'll like often just take her off and just ask her how she's feeling and like what she's looking forward to and getting all that kind of audio.
Yeah.
And same with the parents.
That's cool. I mean, new trends and styles are sort of born through frustration of the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's getting sick of doing the same stuff. So you're like, what else can we do?
That's the intro tag, that.
Yeah.
I like that.
But it's important, right? Like, I mean, it's easy. It's easy to be an autopilot. That's easy. We could do that all day long.
Yeah.
It takes a certain level of like applying yourself to create something for the couple and for yourself that's sort of different to what, you would normally create.
Yeah, because it's not like an office job. Like I enjoy it. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it because I'm good at it and I want to be better at it. And it's just a sweet job.
Yeah.
So it's hard to just do the norm and just like do the same shit every season.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Life after weddings.
What do you mean?
Like, have you thought about it? Or how long do you think you'll be weddings till you're 60?
God. I thought a lot about this.
Maybe it's an age thing, but I'm thinking about it a lot lately.
Me too.
I'm like...
Do you know why?
Why?
Because there's going to be a time, not that far off, maybe a little bit, but we're going to wake up and we're going to go, I am not cool enough to be here.
I'm the same age as the parents.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of cool that you have to have.
Yeah.
I reckon I've got 5 years.
Left in the tank? Wow.
Yeah. If I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Well, see, but what I would do, so my plan, I have thought, so let me tell you.
Okay, yeah.
Let me tell you, Justin Aitken.
Yes.
So what I would do is I would jack my price. Like 10 grand a day, photo only, just me. And I would do like 5 to 8 weddings a year. And this is my phasing out period.
Right.
Because some people are going to pay that. Not a lot, but some people are going to, I could do it. You could do it. Lots of people could do it. And then I would invest the small amount of money that I haven't spent on motorbikes and whiskey and my family. And I would I would open a shop that sells motorbikes and customizes motorbikes.
Nice.
And has like a bar, cafe kind of thing, but make it rad where like anybody can come.
Yeah.
It's a destination. You ride there and then you just like park up. We'll have like guitars and shit. You can like have a jam.
That's so cool.
Have a coffee, have a beer, look at the motorbikes that we're building.
Yeah.
And I'd like Zahn's bike out there. You'd have it so you can drop your bike off and just be like, do it. I don't want you don't tell me what to do. Drop it off and we'll customize it and make you a sick bike.
Isn't there a show in America with cars like that? What's it called?
Oh, there's probably heaps.
There's one in particular that I remember. They did that with Ziggy Marley's car. It was Bob Marley's car.
Right.
Yeah, old BMW. And they did it up and then like presented it to him.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah.
But like real classy, like well tasteful.
Yeah, nice.
Old school bikes.
That's cool because it's something that you love as well. So, you're sort of joining those two things.
I'd have to do something I love. Yeah. I'd have to either win lotto and just do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Or start something that I really enjoy. And because... man, after shooting, after the way I grew up, which wasn't nice, and, being broke off my ass until I was like 30.
Yeah.
It's only been 10 years. Literally 10 years ago, pretty much 10 years ago today, I was driving a car worth about $500. It had no warrant, no rego.
Wow.
I was living week by week.
That's inspiring, man.
Like, dude,
well done.
Like, the end of every week, if I had $10,
yeah,
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's only been 10 years of this business, and I mean, it's been a crazy 10 years, and I'm very lucky to have found what I loved. But there's no way in hell that I can go back to doing a 9 to 5 and just working for somebody else and just doing something that I hate.
Yeah.
Do you know, man?
Yeah, I couldn't either.
When I quit my job, do you know what blew my mind? I calculated that I was spending, it was an insane amount of time just sitting in a car
doing fuck
going to and from work every day. Like it was,
what a waste of
life. Was like almost a working week in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was
Some
insane.
people are happy with it. Some people are happy with just getting their check at the end of the week. I'm not so much. It's interesting because we both also had, and we've spoken about this before, how both of our upbringings and when we were kids weren't the most, they were quite hard. Yeah. And maybe a lot of it is the reason why, we've done okay for ourselves. And I mean, look at you, you've done pretty well. And, inspire a lot of people as well, which is great. But I had a point. Yeah, look.
I think what you're saying is it comes from being in hard places.
Yeah, being in hard places. So you're pushed to do other things. And when you realize that, hey, I could actually, instead of sitting in the car and traveling to work, that's what I was going to say, and wasting that time, you could actually apply it to something else and doing what you want to do. And not everybody has the opportunity to find something that they love that they can sort of do that with. But, like I've always struggled with working for someone. Like I never really had
I'm a terrible employee.
Yeah. Like I never really had the stick-to-itiveness of a job. No. It's like I've really struggled. Like I would wake up in the morning like not keen. I'd be like, there's got to be something else. And I said, some people are okay with that. Like, I got family members and stuff who are like, they're just happy to just want to get home, put on the TV afterwards, and then that's good for them. Yeah. They haven't really got anything that they want to do, and that's cool, that's fine. But if there are things that, you want to do, or that you feel like, if you're sitting at work and you're like, I would rather be doing this, then just fucking do it. Like,
That's the key, man. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That's really the one thing that I'm good at.
Yeah. Because I think we've been talking about like a podcast thing for a while. Like we've been saying for a while we should do something, and it's like, life just fucking happens, man. And before you know it, it's next wedding season. Yeah. So it's really.
I cool like where this is going, because this is really why I started the podcast, to like motivate people. Yeah. And like I think people love it when they can hear that I wasn't always here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I've said this before. A car's just a car, but me thinking that I would have owned a brand new car in my lifetime. Bro, I was driving a forklift with holes in my shoes, thinking, like I just need to get a warrant. You know what I mean? It's like crazy that where you can come from. And I remember the day, literally, I remember the day when I said, I was like, fuck this.
Yeah. I'm
sick of this shit. I'm going to be a full-time wedding photographer next year.
Yeah, nice.
And then that next year I quit my job.
Yeah.
But I worked so hard for a year and like neglected my family, you know, and
that's the
and
thing.
just so many defeats and like,
yeah.
But I've always said that this business, especially, you know, I don't know a lot, but I know a lot about photography and I know a lot about the photography business and just in general. And I think this goes for all things that you want to do. It's because my photos were fucking terrible. My wedding photos were shocking when I started.
We were all in the same boat.
Right. But it's persistence is what gets you where you want to go.
Yeah.
I'm only here because I couldn't give up. You know, like there's just no way that I was going to go back to that.
Yeah. I think my mother used to say a diamond is a piece of coal that stuck to the job.
Diamond is a piece of coal that stuck to the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah. Is your family here?
No. I came here without any family. My family's scattered all over the world, so it's just me and my own family, my wife and kids.
Yeah, she's South African too, right?
Yeah, she is.
She was great. I really liked her.
Yeah.
She's cool. I got to come down and see you guys again.
I'm very lucky.
You are.
Yeah.
You got a cool house too.
Thanks, man. Yeah. That's
both pretty lucky, really.
Yeah, we are. And you know, just going back to what you were saying about you know, family suffering there. Like I've this last year I've made a real effort to try and just be more present for the family and not really give a fuck about like where in the past I'd feel bad if I wasn't working. It's like I'm sitting somewhere and I'm enjoying time, not working. In my head, I'd be like, I feel like I need to be doing something, maybe a little bit ADHD or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like I've always been like that. Like it's like I need to be productive, need to be doing something, need to be, you know, back in the office. And now I'm thinking like that actually doesn't matter. I shouldn't do that as much. It's like more important for me because here's the thing, man. Like, and something I'm realizing, my oldest is 8 years old already, and that's gone like that.
Yeah.
Like when we moved down from Auckland, she was like, she had just been born.
Yeah.
I'm just like, where did that 8 years go?
Yeah.
And like she's gonna, and Mike Hill used to say this, I'm mentioning his name again. He used to say this about his daughters because he had daughters a bit older. It's like when they get to 16, they're not gonna give a shit about you, man.
No.
They're gonna. I mean, you know that.
Yeah,
now.
my daughter's 17.
Yeah. And for me, so I'm just like, and everyone's told me, but it's like it's so hard to apply it sometimes because you get like, you know, you get. I've been listening to a guy, Dr. Gabor Mate. My sister, who's a counselor, told me about. She always sends me little gems, and he talks about you know, like how quick it can go, and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
So you have to spend that time with the kids when they're that age. Otherwise, it's going to be gone.
Yeah, I remember being at your house thinking you're a great dad. Just the way you are with your kids and stuff like that. But I know what you mean. But I think you're probably being a little bit hard on yourself.
Yeah, but I always feel bad. Like, so even now doing it, I still feel guilty.
Yeah. No, I do as well. But I think, you know, you don't have to work hard. Like, you don't have to work really hard for long if you work really fucking hard at the start.
Yeah.
You know, like not where we are now, but like when I started, after that year, I didn't, but I could have chilled out a lot and just, you know, like relaxed a little bit and like sunken into it and just, you know, kept marketing myself, but not doing it all the time. You know, I needed to slow down a little bit earlier. You know, I'm lucky now because I pick my kids up from school and drop them off and all that. And, you know, I could definitely be better as well. But I think what people need to know if you're thinking about getting into it is you just need to work really hard for a short amount of time. Like give it a year.
Yeah, time management is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm too good at that.
No.
I'm trying to be better at that and I'm struggling with that, you know, like just managing your time and finding that balance and knowing when to stop work. And
people like us, you just get so wrapped up in being busy and it's toxic, man.
Yeah. It's just
toxic.
going back to the Gabor Mate thing, like he talks about addiction and people like you and I who possibly had harder upbringings.
Yeah.
It's easier for us to find addiction.
Yeah, definitely.
And you could be addicted to many things. Like, you know, when people hear about addiction, they think like drugs or alcohol, but there's other things. Like you could be addicted to work and that's just as bad.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. It's real interesting.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Just send me a link.
Yeah. He has a book It's the myth of normal.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds good. It's a good name.
Yeah, and he talks
Send me
about
that
like
afterwards.
life and like toxic in our sort of current toxic culture that we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, because I don't really, I have like a whiskey when I'm doing this and like with my mate or whatever, but I don't remember the last time I've been like drunk. I don't do drugs. You know what I mean? Like, I used to when I was a younger man, but not now.
You know what I mean? Like in the current, and where I am currently in my life, it just would not work.
Oh no, I don't have any time for that shit.
No, exactly.
The thing is, it's probably the same with you. Like, probably the reason I work so hard is because of the fear of, if I fail at this, like, this is the end of the line.
Yeah.
I don't have my parents to like fall back on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't have family around to fall back on.
This is it.
Yeah. If I like do something wrong, if I don't make money, my family's fucked.
Yeah.
The buck stops with me.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And that's like when COVID hit. Fuck. I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you can't have events anymore. Okay, cool. That's my job.
Yeah.
That fear of like, shit, I got to do something.
Yeah.
Because mum's not going to hook me up. Yeah. Dad's not going to come and hook me up.
And the bank balance is getting
the
lower.
bank balance. Yeah. It's like, you've got like 5 figures and then it drops, and then it gets to 4 figures and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I got to either sell something or make some more money. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And that's part of the pressure of just running your own business, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Not knowing what's happening next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard work, man.
Yeah. One of the pros of having a 9 to 5, I suppose.
Yeah, I've thought about it.
Yeah. I've done it as well. Like, I'll say to my wife, fuck it, I'm getting a job. She's like, you're never lost at a job. I'm like, oh no, just let me vent.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I remember like mid-COVID, I was still doing all right, but I was so tired and I was just burnt out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we're still feeling the after effects of it now. Like we were just talking about it before we started.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I'm just going to look through Trade Me jobs. And like I found one that it sounded really cool. And I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, you click inquire or whatever, and it goes to this form and they ask you all these questions. I'm like, I can't do that. I was like,
a CV?
What's a CV? I can't even remember. Like a job history. Yeah. Bro, I've been self-employed for so long. I'm like, I don't have job history.
Yeah.
Like, and then you have to go to interview, and I'm like, dude, I could probably do this job better than you. And I just
you'd probably get the job.
Yeah.
Honesty makes me think of American Beauty when he goes to the burger place. He's like, I have experience. He's like, oh, you're overqualified for this job.
Yeah.
He's like, I want a job with no responsibility.
Yeah. Oh man, good chats.
Good chats, man. So good.
You got any other messages or advice or anything for people?
Get a bottle of this Glenlivet. It's bloody good.
Yeah, I might have some more of it.
The ice is finished.
Yeah.
We'll have to go no ice. You're smashing
more.
I'll have a little bit more, yeah, why not? I don't know. Are we talking specifically weddings or anything?
No, I mean, this podcast by nature is going to be about wedding photography, but I'm very, like, I don't want it to be just about wedding photography. Like I have some people coming on, like I'm talking to a business coach.
Cool.
She's going to come on and chat to people about it. But really my only goal I didn't even have a goal with this. I just start shit. I bought all this shit like 2 weeks ago, a week ago or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this is like the 4th or 5th episode already.
Cool.
It's really just, I want to, it's, when you get to a place and you're like,
what else?
Literally, I've said this before.
Yeah.
I remember a day when I walked to work, okay, because my car was fucked and I couldn't afford to get it fixed. But I had to go to work and I had one shoe because my shoe were like proper gone. And I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to walk to work. So I walked to work with bare feet and I just borrowed some work boots when I got to work. And I've always remembered that day, I always remember that day thinking, it makes me emotional thinking about it. I had like 2 kids already and, I was in a shitty relationship and things were just bad. And I remember thinking, fuck this, man. like,
there's got to be something else.
is this going to be my life?
There's got to be more to it.
You know, I don't even know what day it is. Well, it's Tuesday, and I'm sitting here with my boy from down the mount,
good.
having a whiskey, talking shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just proof that anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted the podcast to be about. I wanted the podcast to be...
like, you can do it too.
You can do it too.
Yeah.
And how can I help you?
That's awesome.
Basically. And I think if the more chats we have like this and the more people we talk to, and even if people don't know, like it's going to be a lot of people, because I post these on YouTube and most of my following is in America. So most of them aren't going to know who you are. No. They don't know who I am when they open it. And I think it's irrelevant because you're at the top of your game and you've come from the same kind of place I did. And you own a sick house down in the mount and, you know, you've got a great family and like, sure, things are hard, but like, fuck, we're lucky, man.
Yeah.
Privileged.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
And
grateful.
I think, but the luck was finding what we like.
Yeah.
You know? The rest was hard work.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you would be sitting here in the position you're in there if you didn't walk barefoot to your job kind of thing?
Fuck no.
You see what I mean? Like, so
I mean, I don't know where I would have been.
A lot of growth comes from adversity.
Yeah.
It's almost necessary.
That's one of the lessons, is that being uncomfortable is where success comes from, you know? Yeah. Like, I've tried a lot of shit that I've been terrible at, you know? And like, you know, even with photography, I've tried a lot of things. I'm like, this is not a good idea afterwards. But it's those things, it's like just trying it anyway. And I think so many people are so scared to just even believe in themselves and be like, all right, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start.
Come out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, I'm going to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a business, whatever. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people, because I used to do like personal coaching and stuff like that. Like, you know, like one-on-one workshops. And a lot of those people were in the same position and now they have their own businesses, not because of me, but I just, you know, like they've had a lot of influences over their life and like just being told that you can do it. And like
believing that you can.
And practically as well, getting really good first step advice from people, I think is pretty solid. Like I have a friend, she never had a camera, like a proper camera. And so she got a camera and 3 months, I think it was like maybe 2 months later, she'd quit her job and now she's doing like family portraits.
Killer. How good is that?
It's crazy. Yeah. And like she still has so much to learn, but it's really not that hard if you have someone or some, you know, like you involve yourself and like you just start picking it up and just start doing it every day. Yeah. It doesn't take long, man.
No.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unless you got anything else?
No, it's been awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for. I mean, you didn't come up all. Well, you did come all the way up just for this. Actually, you had an engagement shoot and they cancelled.
Like an hour into my trip.
Yeah. Oh fuck, that's a disaster.
Yeah, well.
But I mean, it was worth it.
It was worth it, man. I nearly turned around.
I could feel it in your voice. Yeah. I was like, if it was me, I don't know if I would still come, but it's cool to hang out. And I appreciate you coming up, man.
I'm glad I came now.
Me too, bro.
Thank you, bro.
So thanks for listening, guys.
Cheers.
And cheers, Justin. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Check this out. I got this new deck the other day. Let's do some exit music, eh?
Sounds good. That's soothing.
This is why I got this deck.
Now I'm definitely going to touch your foot.
Yeah. Oh, shit. But so you have to talk until the beat comes on, and then I crank it up. And this is like recorded onto the track. So now I'm like, catch you guys later. And then I just fade the mics out like that so you go.